they'd have 28 days. And basically what you'd have to do is, you'd have to sort of, well actually no, sorry, you got 6 weeks. And with these dogs, you'd have to train them, and you'd have to make sure they don't go biting people, give them proper good training, and make sure that at the end of it, a family or an old person could come and pick it up, and the dog's got a home at the end of it. Now, how they did that was basically they had this the dog charity, and they picked 8 of us, and it was a new scheme. So 8 of us did it. They had a nice pod for us where there was 8 cells, 8 little dog kennels, and a back door where we could open it. Well, we couldn't, but the guard could come and like unlock it from the guardhouse, and that's where the dogs would pee and that, and shit, and we'd have to tidy it up. And through the day, these charity women would come, and they'd teach us basic commands like sit, stay. I mean, 98% of it's like fucking body language anyway. So we teach you. So I'm getting taught how to train dogs. I think it's fucking alright, this. Best paid job in there, it was like £12.50.
Bloody hell, so that's about $15.
Mm-hmm. So it's better than the fucking...
That's an hourly, is it? 15?
Yeah, because it started, it was £1 a day, it was $1 a day in the kitchen.
That's shite, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're training these dogs, and everything's going well. We fucking did the first lot, and it was these people come, and the governor and that from the prison sort of had did a bit of a buffet and that, not for fucking us, for the people who come to get the dogs. And each one of us had to do a show with the dogs, where they'd stop, where they'd sit, where they'd roll over, where they'd give you your paw, and stuff like that. Everything went well. My dog got adopted, and I felt really good about it. I had to wait about 3 weeks to get another dog. So I'm waiting to get this dog. Now, when you've been with a dog for a fucking while, and you haven't been used to being with a dog for a while, it was just company. And that was actually keeping me out of trouble. I was really happy about it. And then I ended up getting myself in trouble. Fucking one of my mates tells me from the other side of the prison that they're going to roll one of the heads up Roman, and the youngsters, the torpedoes, I want me to make some gloves and the ballies for them. So they've got the gloves and masks on. So basically when they rush him and do him in, there's no actual camera evidence that it's them, you know what I mean? I've showed you how, if you go on my podcast, I'll show you how to make gloves and balaclavas.
Wildman's playlist in the description box below the video.
Yeah, I do it, actually show you there and then how to do it. So I make these gloves and I make these ballies, and I meet them on store day. They're getting the Sacker store. I get like about 12 quid for them. So I thought nothing of it, to be fair. Like, and then the alarms went, and I'm thinking it's about 2 days after I give the gloves out. I'm thinking, what the fucking hell's going on? Everyone locked down. So we had to go on lockdown. And the best thing of where we was, with having the dogs, all we had to say is, no matter what time of night, we'd have to say the dog wants a poo or a piss. So they'd open the door and we'd go out and have a fag. So it was like fucking, and it was literally, the area wasn't much bigger than this, and it was just grass verge, and we had to keep it clear, and it was fenced. It was all fenced. The dogs weren't going anywhere. So I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, what's going on in the yard? And then one of the guys has said, oh fucking hell, they've gone and done it now, haven't they? Said, what? They said they've rolled the head up over there, and they're doing a proper investigation about it. I went, oh, well, whatever, nothing to do with me, you know what I mean? So when they fucking searched these young lads and get them, one of them had got rid of the stuff, the other one had found these gloves. Well, everyone around the prison knew that I was making gloves. Before you know it, they come and get me in the middle of the fucking night, fucking take me from the dog fucking pen thing and put me straight in the fucking hole and have me on investigation, possibly street charges for inciting a riot. So
how did you get out of that then?
Well, for the simple fact that I said I'd made the gloves and I'd made the bally, but just because I'd made them, I didn't make them for them to use like that.
Yeah, just for normal wear.
Yeah, just for normal wear, basically.
So how long were you in the hole on this time?
I was in the hole for 3 weeks on that one.
And then what happened when you got back out? Was things back to normal, or was it different?
No, because I couldn't get my job back.
So what did they assign you to do?
They put me in building 2, which was basically for the guys who had been everywhere else and couldn't fit in anywhere. And just like, it was hard to even be a fucking porter in there.
Really?
Yeah, it was that bad.
So what did you do to pass the time in there?
I made more fucking gloves. Kept me going. I'd love to be in the interview. Not one of these. We could do one of these. Hang on, interview, Shaun.
You go ahead. We can have a chat. Fucking hell. What year is this now then?
Let me see. In Florence. So, 09 we got nicked. No, 02.
02 SWAT team, May 16th.
Yeah. So it'll be 03 and half of 04, 05, 06. This would be 07. This would be about probably a year before getting out.
Okay. So have I missed any of the stuff that you wanted to...
No, you covered it last.
Right, alright, so you're on your final stretch now, so they say you start to get gate fever. Did you get any gate fever?
Not really, no. I was just... Because I had a street issue over there that I had to handle, which I can't get into. So I'm thinking, well, you've got to let me out of there and I'm going to get fucking picked at the airport and go straight to prison over there. But that didn't happen, but I did... When the first day I got out, I was excited. But then I thought, hang on a minute, I'm going to go to immigration. And I'm going to be at fucking immigration for fucking ages. And I was at Phoenix immigration for 3 months. And then they sent me to Cali. And then I was at Cali immigration for just over 3.5 months. And then finally, they don't tell you when you go in, they just tell you roll up.
Before that, though, what was your very last day in Arizona Department of Corrections like? Were people hitting you up for your property and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Because you're not supposed to give anything away, really. You're not supposed to, because it's like theft of property and that. I had a TV. It'd been took off me a few times. When I say that, I mean, whenever you get tickets in prison, the first thing they do is to take off things that they call it privileges. Your TV's a privilege. Going to the canteen's a privilege. Stuff like that's a privilege. So they take it away, say for 30 days, and then you go and pick it up for 30 days. Well, people wanted me TV and that, but I didn't really want to give it away because you can actually get a street charge on it for doing it. In the end, I let it go. I just said I broke it, you know what I mean? But they made me a big scram. They made me a load of food. And the youngsters would put candy bars on my pillow. Because when you first go in there, they show you a documentary.
The rape class.
Yeah. Where basically they say that you don't take any chocolate or any form of any gifts from anyone because they'll think that you owe them then. So this is what the rape class goes on about. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, 7 years, not one of them, I haven't even been offered a bar of fucking chocolate apart from what I've sold in store to them, you know what I mean? So the youngsters give me some chocolate and I get it.
So your last day then, they're going to take you over to deportation.
Mm-hmm.
So you getting like, did they give you street clothes back and stuff?
No, you go...
Prison blues?
You go from deportations, so yeah.
Yeah. So which was your first deportation, did you say? Florence? Or was it...
Florence was the first one.
Florence. And you were in there for a few months?
Yeah, from Steiner to Florence.
To Florence. So now this is the federal prison system.
From Kingman, sorry, to Florence.
So this is the federal prison system. I imagine you're the only Englishman in there.
Yeah, there was 2 Russians, and there was a guy from Syria.
And all the rest is Mexican.
Yeah, all the
So
Mexican and well, in Florence, all the rest were Mexican until when I went to California, and there were 50% Mexican, 50% Californian.
So you've gone from
50% Thai.
So you've gone from Arizona prison, where there's these rules of racial division strictly enforced.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're the only Englishman. It's all Mexicans, and then the Mexicans are like just sitting on people's bunks and behaving differently.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, how did that? Were you thinking like you got to react because you got this prison mentality?
Well, I just sat back and watched, because don't forget I'd been in the immigration before.
Oh yeah, yes, you were familiar with it.
So I was actually familiar with the immigration.
Yeah.
I hadn't gone straight from prison. I'd gone on from the streets, but I was in immigration. Oh, I had to. When they had me for Corrie, the first time I went immigration, I went from Madison.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew what it was like, but I was just happy to be there, because the food, once again, is fucking brilliant.
And you've always got along with the Mexicans. They've always respected you. When you were in Puerto Penasco, Rocky Point, they called you El Oso.
He's getting a lot out of this fucking interview, isn't he? We've jumped now from fucking... Can I have a fact time out? I want a fact before we go on to Mexico.
Get a bit angry, laugh. You're going to choke me out.
No, I'm just fucking...
Thank you for all of your questions. Please, if you've got more questions for Wildman, put them in the comment section below this video.
Yes, please do. I'm very happy to answer all your questions. I very appreciate your comments. With the good or bad, I don't really give a fuck, but I appreciate you listening to me.
Adam Smith has asked, in a prison fight, is it best to knock out, submit, or draw blood from your opponent to establish the most impressive win?
You're not trying to impress, you're trying to survive. It's not a point where, like, oh, should I give him a black eye? It looks better.
Jono Murphy. Wildman, me and my missus would love to buy you a drink, lad. I'll drive up to Widnes from Walsall any day.
You're more than welcome, mate.
Save Your Dad has said, I'm a new subscriber. Cheers, mate. If you can, would you be so kind to give me a shout out on your next video? Take care, Wildman.
Yes, what was his name again? Sorry.
Save Your Dad.
Save Your Dad. Shout out to you.
Cheers, Save Your Dad. Victor Ruilas. Did Wildman ever catch any STDs?
Not in prison, no.
Wildman's parents' reaction to him being locked up in America. This is from Hazy Hills.
I don't actually know, because I was over there and they were over here. I would imagine they wouldn't have been too shocked.
Rubber Chicks. How did Wildman deal with come downs?
I generally didn't have any.
Because you just kept going.
Yeah, when I wasn't in prison, there wouldn't be a day I didn't do drugs, so there wasn't a day to say, oh, fucking hell, I feel a bit rough. Because I'd just get fucking right back on the fucking tweak pipe.
Let me ask you this then. When the SWAT team came,
yeah,
and going cold turkey in the jail, was there like a Jonesy feeling or anything?
No.
A withdrawal?
You know what? I felt healthier than fuck. I kept fucking eating fucking Red Death there and I was eating loads of fucking food.
Is that because, as you always used to tell me, the drugs, do not let the drugs control you, we control the drugs?
Yeah, basically, you've always got to keep it like that. Because when I was on the streets, getting high as a kite, my diet would consist of banana yahoos and like fucking beef jerky. Literally. That was it. Oh, 40s, King Cobra, and Old English, malt liquor. But that wasn't really like a drug. That was just to keep me That's the first thing I'd have when I'd get up, actually. I'd have a King Cobra, and I'd have a large fucking vodka and lemonade.
So when you used to tell me, do not let the drug control you, we control the drugs, what did that exactly mean?
Well, it's just that you see these bagheads, fucking horrible bastards, and they fucking start doing fucking heroin and shit, and then the next minute they're shaking, and they're not human. They're just fucking weirdos, aren't they? You know what I mean?
So not to end up like that. So Holly Rorabow, love waking up to a Wildman video. Y'all are hilarious. What's up, Wildman? You doing okay? We love you. Do you ever have to fight or put anyone in their places now? Or do you just take your anger out in demolishing kitchens with your bare hands? Also, I see your eyebrow go up. I can't imagine ever making you mad.
You wouldn't make me mad ever, love. It's only guys normally. It's only people with fucking cocks make me mad.
So do you ever have to fight or put anyone in their place now?
No. My wife beats the shit out of me, puts me in my place.
And do you think that channeling your energy into demolishing kitchens...
I don't actually demolish kitchens. I'm never going to get a kitchen job again, right? People say things like that. I actually take the old kitchen out and I put a really nice new existing kitchen in and make a good job of it for a very reasonable price. My dad's been in the business for over 50 years and I'm very good with a hammer.
Chad Caldicott, you're the man, bro. Your great content never fails to make me laugh. Good people and humour go a long way. Keep it up, mate. You will go far. But he's asked, what do you think of society today?
I don't really have a thought on it, to be fair. I just let the day go day by day. Brexit and all that, I don't really give a fuck about. Like Donald Trump. And I like Farage too, because he's a pisshead.
Okay.
Oh, and I like that blonde fucking idiot too.
Boris.
Yeah. Him and Donald Trump can exchange wigs, can't they? I like them two. Them two for fucking president, prime minister, I say.
Okay, too. Did anyone ever snitch on Wildman? And if so, did he retaliate?
Well, we all got snitched on, not by very many though. It was for out of our group, it was a very small few. Can you compare it to fucking Sammy Rat the Bull and how many people fucking started talking in his crew? It was the majority of the crew. Them Italians say, oh, die by the sword, live by the bull, fucking shit. One of them gets napped and that's it. Spaghetti goes out the fucking window and they start talking.
This is from Cookie Muncher. Does Wildman look back on what he did in America and his life? And does he regret any of it?
No regrets. You can't have life with regrets, can you? You only have life once, live it.
Blur Sutherland. What is Wildman's favourite film?
There's a few.
Can you name any?
Shot Caller.
Yeah, Shot Caller's good. It's like Shawshank.
Drools on a bit, I think.
What about stuff like Goodfellas and Casino?
I like Goodfellas.
American Me?
I try to stay away. Well, yeah, I don't mind that either. But Shot Caller, I'd have to say. I mean, if we're going to put a favourite movie out there, it'd be Shot Caller.
And what stuff are you watching these days? I haven't really got much chance to watch movies because I'm always commenting on you lovely people. Do you watch anything on
answers.
Netflix or any shit like that? Series, true crime or anything?
No.
Okay.
I've got Netflix, but I don't.
Some good ones.
I mean, a lot of the Netflix is old to me because when it first came out, I watched Dexter and all that stuff. I didn't mind all that, but I like new stuff.
Well, I've recently watched, and I think these are good offenders out there and they want to watch some interesting things. Abducted in Plain Sight on Netflix. I thought that was good. Killing Eve on BBC. Like it's completely made up. It's all impossible and fantasist stuff, but it's like a female
That where someone gets pushed down the stairs and it starts off as that.
Oh, the staircase.
Yeah,
I love that one.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Killing Eve, she's like a female assassin. It's a fun one to watch, but the staircase kind of shows similar injustices that we saw in Making a Murderer. So if you haven't watched both Making a Murderers, recommend them as well. And then these Ted Bundy ones. There's got the Ted Bundy tapes, and there's another one about him. I can't remember what it's called now. But oh yeah, and that one, the guy who was doing the date, he dated the woman, Joe. What was his name?
The cult guy.
No.
Fred West.
Nasty, dirty John. Dirty John, is it? Not Dirty Joe. Dirty John. Dirty John. Yeah. The Dirty John stuff. It's a true story. I like the true stuff on Netflix mostly. I recommend all those ones I just said. I recommend them. And
there's a couple of tries to watch. I think one was called Desperado or something. It was all in Spanish.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, I do like some in Spanish. The Narcos Mexico is good, and because that shows more like the police corruption side of it. And also, what was the other one I've watched recently? Starting to watch Central Park 5. If anyone's ever watched, there was other stuff on the Central Park 5. They got framed out of New York. There's a new thing on Netflix about them that I'm just about to start watching, so I'd recommend that as well. If you're not familiar with the Central Park 5 or West Memphis 3, pure prosecuted police corruption, framing people for murders, sending them into brutal prisons where they get brutalized. It's really heartbreaking.
I like the Birmingham 5 as well, and all the tales on there and all the different ways that it comes about.
What happened with the Birmingham 5? I'm not familiar with that one.
It's one where they got stuck up the country lanes in the Range Rover and got fucking killed.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like the late 80s, I think, and they were dormant.
Yeah.
They were getting all high on coke and shit, and they were selling loads.
Like the end of the foot.
There's 3 or 4 different movies out of the same thing, and each one has a different ending of who did it.
Like kind of like the end of the Rise of the Foot Soldier movie.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, that's a good movie as well.
But they end up each one they show them going up the lanes. One of them getting out, the other guy coming and shooting. But each one is different guy getting shot.
Yeah. I've got another fucking question here. Should I skip that?
No, I'm used to know that.
Donut Master. Question for Wildman. You did jail and prison time in Arizona. During your incarceration, were you allowed to take your cushion into the chow hall? Which would you rather sit on? A Sergio Tacchini cushion or a Frank Capra cushion? I'm talking about cushions, so for all the American viewers, that means cushions in American too. Skip. Hal Flag. You talk about the rules of whites exercising if under 35. Was it the same rules for the blacks, Mexicans, and other races?
Yeah, it was actually, yeah. But we wouldn't enforce them, obviously. Their own people would do it. But in general, yeah. If you were under 35, you were going out and you were getting trained up to be a soldier.
He's also asked, so Wildman put so much work in Arizona prison, they said he could have a tattoo. He mentioned he did not get it. Is that therefore seen as disrespectful for not getting the tat and you would get smashed? I thought it would be compulsory.
No, it's not compulsory. Because for them to give me white power, for start, I should be American anyway. So it's like, it wasn't compulsory. It was like, because I had put work in, it was an honorary, and it was white pride. They were going to give me that white power. And I didn't want it because basically once you're marked, you got it for life. And if you ever get put in prison again, you don't get to see the nice cushy yards because you're straight in SMU because you're classed as an organised gang criminal.
Security threat group status, you're wearing your tats, you're basically advertising what you've done. So it's not the brightest thing in the world.
Do you have guards when you go in there and when you're naked to look down and they take down your tats and that? And if they know exactly all the tattoos and what gangs are what, you know what I mean? They know the MS-13, they know everything like that.
The Reaper has asked, thanks for sharing your stories, Wildman. My question is, would the fact you're talking so extensively about your experiences and the conditions and politics in US prisons, if you ended up back in the joint in America, would you get attacked by inmates or guards?
I wouldn't put myself in that opportunity. For one, if I went back to America, I'm looking at 25 anyway, because I'm banned for life, and life means life. I've been kicked out of the country 3 fucking times.
R6S Clips 2 has asked, how hard was it to find a job after your release? Do people blow it out of proportion, or is it really hard when you've got a criminal conviction?
No, it's really hard. It's not so much the criminal conviction, it's the fact that you've got no sort of computer skills, or you haven't got no just basic stuff to get a job. You haven't got none of that. I mean, I did different courses. I did like basic computer and like how to use it. But you have to do things like that, you know what I mean? Because this day and age, it's all about computers. You got to learn how to use it.
Chris Peaty, did Wildman ever narrowly miss being taken out to the desert himself?
Oh yeah, several times. I nearly took myself out with you fucking times.
Dave Oakley, have you ever had the gun aimed at yourself?
Yeah.
Quadrex, what is the funniest thing Wildman has seen?
I don't know. There's a lot.
Jumping Bill.
Yeah, Jumping Bill's probably one of the most refreshing.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've got to say, because when you're in prison and you've got that sort of like always keep yourself on guard, and then this strange character comes in and he's got all the fucking like all these like hard-faced criminals,
There's church on the street,
looking all like sort of like gangsters. Next minute they jump up and down like kids. Yeah, I'd probably say Jumping Bill.
Church on the street, props to them if they're still going in Arizona. So this is like going back now to 2002. Towers Jail. It's just this sweaty, hot box of everyone just like high on meth and tweaking out and paranoid. And people are getting smashed. And like we've described in the jail podcast, all that stuff's going on. Then all of a sudden, the guards call out, church on the street, line up at the sliding door. And everyone fucking runs to form this line at the door because only so many people can go.
It's really hard to get to, believe it or not, isn't it?
Yeah.
I used to give people candy bars to stand at that sliding door and keep me queued up there, you know what I mean? So I could get to church on the street. Because everyone wanted to go, because it was a form of, well, it's the only way you're going to talk to your co-defendants or get to talk to anyone else in other people's pod, for one. I mean, I used to go to a Muslim service too, because Kerry converted when she was in the female prison. So the reason that I'd get letters off this guy was I'd go to the Muslim service and he'd bring kites over from when he'd been to the female jail and give me the kites.
It's a good way to have communication through these classes and services, and a lot of people do drug deals in them as well.
And we had cushions in there too. We yelled on him and said "Alex Bar."
So when you finally got allowed into church on the street, it's like this classroom setting, and we're all sat on rows of chairs, and Pastor Walt comes in. He's got these big, intense eyes, and he's looking over the flock. And the most religious prisoners are sat on the front rows, and they're all tatted up with like Jesus and the Virgin Mary and stuff. Our crew are on the back rows in church on the street. Joey Crack, all our guys. There's the Italian Mafia guys we clicked up with. We're all talking and whispering. And every now and then, like, Wildman's whisper rises and he stops the service.
The big guy with the demon, what was his name? The street fighter.
Oh, God, him, yeah. Grave. What we call him in the book, Gravedigger.
Yeah.
He's got the big puppet devil thing on his...
One hard motherfucker, him, like.
Yeah, he was fighting multiple people at the same time. So we're all in there. Every now and then, Pastor Walt is stopping the service and saying brimstone and fire is going to come down on the back row because we are the mockers and scoffers predicted in the end of times. But then, like, all of a sudden, the whole service stops. There's just Pastor Walt and Hillbilly Ed in his little snakeskin shoes. All of a sudden, the whole service stops. And this bald man just runs in with a gay rainbow t-shirt on and glasses, smiling, like this smile that's going all up his face, like he's on something. And he just goes, he pulls this guitar out. He's got this other guy with him who looks like a guy out of the Rolling Stones. He's also got a guitar. And Pastor Walt just says, right, I'm handing it over to Jumping Bill. And Jumping Bill just goes, ding, holy, we are holy.
Starts literally just jumping up and down.
Lord God Almighty.
At first, people look at one another and think, what the fuck? But then you start saying, oh, fuck it, let's jump.
Worthy is the Lamb.
You started jumping with
Worthy is the Lamb, for we are holy, holy. And all the people looking like, what the fuck? There's people smiling and laughing, and part of the audience is kind of melting it towards him. Well, people are looking hard and stuff. He just runs up to the back row people, the hardest looking people, some of them, gets right in front of the faces, and he's just smiling like this. And he's like, holy, we are holy, worthy is the Lamb. And in the end, they just fucking start laughing. And then the chorus, he goes, right, everybody jump. And the whole room, just fucking everyone just starts pogo dancing up and down. And it gets so crazy. People are just pulling off their fucking deck shoes, throwing them across the room, throwing them at each other. People are throwing chairs across the room. There's all this fucking noise like there's a riot. Next thing, the guards come running in. Like, what the fuck? They're threatening to send us all back and we're refusing to go back. Jumping Bill tells them it's all okay. They leave. And then Jumping Bill goes, as soon as they're gone, he's like, oh, he just strums his guitar. Fucking, just like, jumps down. Gets on the floor like this, holy. And then when he's done all that, it's like, come on, jump, everybody jump. It's fucking mental. In this insane place. IDs are falling out of people's pockets, and yeah, that was one for such a bleak environment.
I actually got kicked out of church one time.
Oh, the mooning.
Oh, for throwing the frisbee at the fucking priest.
Oh my God. We were at a Catholic mass. And every week we were going to this Catholic mass, and the priest kept saying about his mum was about to die. She was like almost 100. And even the Italian Mafia guys, it was so moving, these speeches. Even some of the Italian Mafia guys, tears were in their eyes and they were praying. And Wildman just goes, oh, how old fucking is she? She's almost fucking 100.
She's got a good innings, like, what the hell, you know what I mean?
So the priest came and did the communion, and Wildman pulled the communion out of his mouth, put it on his eye patch, like a pirate's eye patch, and goes, everyone, look at me.
I'm not Rule 31, I've been told I'm not.
So the priest is walking to the front of the room. Wildman takes it off his eye, and he does this frisbee throw, and the communion it goes ding, 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 skims the ceiling and hits the priest in the back. And all the front row with all the tats of Jesus and Mary, they're all looking back. They're all looking back. That was another classic.
It was quite funny, that.
Yeah.
The Italians didn't like it, did they? Because they're a bit religious.
Some of them were a bit offended. Yeah. Have you asked you this one yet, La? From Chad. What do you think of society today? Yeah, we have done that page. I've lost my